Hello, everyone, and welcome to the session about how to win the LinkedIn game in 2026. My name is Alina Kovalchuk. I'm very happy to welcome you, and let's dive right into it. So, I am offering this short agenda for the session so that you understand what we're going to be talking about. And I want to go through LinkedIn in numbers. I want to talk about how to create a fully optimized profile for 2026. I want to talk about our ICP on and off LinkedIn. I want to touch base on the content logic, on a couple of trends regarding the content. And I also want to talk about the growth strategies of LinkedIn. And as bonus at the end, I really want to make sure that you understand the algorithm update, the 360 brew, that is the main decision factor for 2026. And without further ado, let's dive right into it. So, a short presentation about your speaker today. I am Alina Kovalchuk. I come from a marketing background where I've worked for the past 16 years across 12 different countries and 3 different continents. I have decided to switch into LinkedIn because to me, this was a hack of a platform. I could not crack it as a marketer. And I said, you know what? If there's something that I want to be known for, let it be LinkedIn. It was a very challenging decision. However, I am not regretting it since because it has proven that it is the most winning strategy and platform, not just for me, but for my clients and for everyone who is bringing their business to LinkedIn, regardless if it's a very small business or if it's a larger business. So I'm also a certified LinkedIn strategist. I do have my LinkedIn certification for this. I am currently in the top 2% worldwide as a LinkedIn coach. I'm also a business mentor, and I have been mostly helping smaller startups or smaller companies come up with the right business strategy, also combined with the marketing strategy, and now with a a lot of LinkedIn knowledge. I'm also a trainer and a speaker, and I'm very happy that we have this session today. So, LinkedIn numbers. How does the platform look like? How did it evolve? Who is on the platform? Let's see that. Right now on the platform, we have over 1.3 billion registered users, and most of the people who are current users come from 25 to 34 years old, but it doesn't mean that LinkedIn is only for these demographics. LinkedIn is a very trendy platform for everyone, and also LinkedIn is the best platform for decision makers. The people who are doing business are on LinkedIn. They might not be on TikTok, they might not be on Instagram, they might not be on Facebook, but they most surely are on LinkedIn. And the possibilities of LinkedIn are truly endless. And here they are, the list of the opportunities. So imagine every single minute, there's almost 2 millions of updated feed updates with different elements of content on the platform. This is an incredible amount of number. Of course, not as huge as YouTube, but still, it's an incredible amount of number. Then we have almost 17,000 connections done per minute on LinkedIn. This is also huge. We do have over 155 hours of learning content, and we have lots of B2B marketers who are choosing to be on the platform because of its organic strategy first. Of course, there's also a lot of paid opportunities on LinkedIn as well. We do have over 67 million companies listed on LinkedIn. And If you think about all this incredible ecosystem, there's only 1% of users, of LinkedIn users, which is currently at 1.3 billion, who are producing content at least once a week. For LinkedIn, people who produce content once a week are considered active users. This is why LinkedIn is an incredible place to be. It is still very early stage because the platform is evolving. There's lots of people who are observing, but not that many people who are actually producing content, delivering high value through their content. So let that sink in and think how big of opportunities you are having here. If we dive into the profiles that we have on LinkedIn, this is the most important element, your profile, because everything that you do on LinkedIn has to bring the user back into your profile. And when your profile is very nicely and correctly optimized with the right settings, with the right positioning, with the right messaging, with the right call to action for the audience, with the definition of the product, with the definition of your ideal customer profile, then all of this combined is driving business to your company. So, if we are speaking about the LinkedIn profile, chances are that people find out about you as a LinkedIn creator, as a business owner, either through a LinkedIn recommendation, which I have been on the platform for the past 14 years, and my recommendation level is at 2.5. Sometimes it gets to 7.5%. For newer or very new client profiles, this number is between 50 and 80%. This means that the platform is favoring people who are bringing themselves as newbies to LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is rewarding this behavior and it's encouraging people's presence. And of course, LinkedIn wants us to be active here. So the second variation of how a person might have come about your profile is through your active engagement. Either it could have been a post that you have written on LinkedIn, it could have been a comment that you have left somewhere in LinkedIn, and people have seen some elements of your profile, which is your profile picture and your headline, and they were intrigued to come into your profile and check you out. So when a person lands on our profile, think of the profile as a funnel. Think of it as a place where people are entering, are seeing some information. Towards the middle of your profile, they get some more information, and towards the end of your profile, they have to be ready to make a decision about who you are and if they want to do business with you or if they don't. So these 15 seconds when a person lands on our profiles is being attributed in this way. 7 seconds are being given to the banner. The banner is the first impression. The banner is the place where we will dive into the formula of the banner and every other element on the next slide. But the banner has to have the biggest amount of information based on which a person has to take a decision. That being said, do not omit the attention from the headline section, because the headline section, as I said already, together with the profile picture, are the elements that are traveling with you throughout LinkedIn. So 7 seconds were given to the banner, a couple of seconds were being given to the profile picture, a couple of seconds to the headline, a couple of seconds to the About section, and a couple of seconds to the Featured section. And on the mobile screen, we can only fit one Featured section box. On the desktop, there's room for two, sometimes three, but I recommend that everything that you do, you focus on the first element, which is to your left on your profile. So this one here. The incredible elements of the personal profile and the company profile, which we are going to be discussing on the next slide. So on the personal profile, we have these elements which are the most important, which we have already seen in the funnel section. So we have the profile picture, which has to be high resolution, professional, open pose, maybe a light smile. You're very nice, you're welcoming, you're open to new collaborations, to new connections, and so on. The banner. We have a couple of differentiators, but we also have a couple of musts that we have to have on the banner, because again, this is the most important element that we have on our profile. In the first line, we write the outcome for our ICP, or our ideal customer profile. We focus on the deliverables, and we focus on the outcome for our clients. In the second line, we are bringing the truth, the proof. We are bringing the credibility metric, or we are bringing a recognizable client from a specific region, and we are also mentioning how we are different as an expert from anybody else who is also on the platform. And very important, not to be left out, is the call to action, or the CTA text, which ideally is placed on top of your profile picture, on top left corner of your banner. Going next, the headline. Very oftenly, I see that the role of a person gets placed on the first place in the headline. This is not necessarily the most correct approach. So if you really care about your title, you can leave it by all means in the headline, but bring it towards the end of it. So focus on the outcome of your client. Remember that the headline is that element that is bringing the curious customer into your profile to make a decision about if they want to work with you or if they don't. Also, don't forget the credibility, that you have already worked with X amount of people, or that you have, I don't know, $1 million brands in your portfolio, or you work with founders from a certain amount of revenue per month or per year. So it can be a completely different approach, and this depending on your ICP. Going next, moving towards the About section, which many people for some reason confuse with About Me section. This is not the case. This is not the About Me section. Rather, it is about me supporting my client. So what does it mean? It means, why do you care to do what you do? Like, what brought you to do the work that you are doing in the industry that you are currently in? Who you help? Describe a couple of problems that your current clients have. Bring a couple of metrics as proof, and let people know how they can proceed into working with you further. Do you want them to email you? Do you want them to call you? Do you want them to DM you on LinkedIn? So let people know exactly what you want them to do. Next, we have the featured section, which, if you do not have a LinkedIn Premium account, is the only place on your whole profile where you can add links, and these are the only elements which are clickable. So in the featured section, it's a very good idea to invite people into a case study, or you do have a lead magnet for your audience. Perhaps you want to showcase a portfolio of your work, or you do have a nice website where it's already working as a lead generation element, and you want people to go on the website and take action based on the information provided there. So this is overall everything that you have to know about a profile that is very well optimized, a personal profile. Moving next, we have the company profile. There's a little bit of different elements on it rather than if we compare it with a personal profile. So instead of the profile picture, we do have the logo here. In the banner, rather than the outcome for the ICP, we do have the value proposition as a one sentence promise to our clients as job to be done. In the second line, we do have the proof and ICP. So what is the use case of ICP? What is the proof metric that we are delivering on? And what is the call to action that we want people to be taking after reading our profile? In the headline, again, we focus on the primary outcome for the ICP, and we focus on the key differentiator or the proof metric. In the About section, you focus on the mission or the problem. So you clearly state that this company exists because of this client to do this particular job, because you're solving this type of problem. You do have to mention the differentiation, what type of approach you're bringing into your work. You're bringing the social proof element, and you're saying that, hey, we have already worked with this amount of customers, we have had this amount of students, or we have had this amount of users. Never forget about the CTA. Again, this has to be repeated throughout your profile so that the person exactly knows what they have to do when they have finished reading your profile. What exactly do you have to track based on your profile when it's already been set up, when it's already being optimized, and when everything is being in place and you are already delivering content and you are being active on the platform? So instead of focusing on the vanity metrics, you're always looking at the business metrics. And the business metrics that you need to follow on LinkedIn are the profile views. Why this is important? It is because people who are viewing your profile have seen you somewhere, they're eager to engage, they're eager to learn more about you. This means that either your positioning or your product or your personality, which is the most important element, are interesting enough for them to want to work with you. So this means that the profile views metric is extremely important. You go there daily, you look at the person or people who have watched your profile and you message them. You need to have a LinkedIn premium for this, but it's not costing that much. I mean, it's a business expense. And what I really want to emphasize here is how important it is for you to be in contact with these people, so that the people who are coming into your profile really get to know you a little bit better, and that they have a chance to learn a little bit more from you through your own words about your product. Amount of impressions overall on your profile, it's a metric which is combining the impressions that your content has generated. This is also an important metric because it gives you an understanding if your content is performing well or performing less, not as well as in the previous week. For example, I track this metric from week to week, and I see that if last week my posts have brought 50k impressions and this week I'm only at 20k, something is off, something is wrong. Maybe there's a chance for me here to go and revise something in my strategy and make adjustments. Inbound DMs, so anyone who's coming to you with a request of your services, of learning more information, of getting some more inputs from you, is extremely important as a metric. And of course, everything that you wanted people to do as a request, as call to action requests, is also a metric worth following. So either you want people to go and visit your website, or you want people to book a call with you, or you want people to download a certain resource or to watch a certain video. And as call to actions, you can have as many as you can only imagine. Let's talk now about the ideal customer profile. Just a little reminder that everything that we do on LinkedIn is to attract the ICP and to cater for the ICP. So everything that we do on LinkedIn is, again, to address the needs of our customers. This means that in order to address the pains that our customers are having, we can cluster these pains in 3 to 5 pillars. And they can be the problem, the proof, the product, the people, and the point of view. So you can really play, mix and match with this and decide what approach, or maybe all of them, that you want to bring into your content, into your positioning, and into how you're creating your elevator pitch. So in order to be on top of mind, in order to be understandable, in order to be clear in everything that you do as product, as company, you have to be understandable. This means that people have to easily understand what you do as a business or as a service provider. So the first thing that we do, we identify the villain, or we are looking at the problem that our ICP has. We are also introducing the hero or the solution that we are bringing in order to solve the problem for our ICP. And in the end, it's the result that is describing the transformation that took our ICP from the problem to the solution and to the whole transformative journey. So everything that we do, we make about our customers. It's not that we are amazing and great. Yes, we are. But when we talk just about ourselves, it's not exactly the place and the way how we can sell our products. When we make it about them, when we want them to understand what we make and what we do and how we can make their lives easier, this is when things really start working. Now, the biggest block of this presentation is about content and employee-generated content, as it's one of the biggest trends on LinkedIn right now. So if you are a company owner and you do have employees, please make everything possible that your employees start being active on LinkedIn and you transform them into brand ambassadors of your company. If you don't know how to do that, you're very welcome to talk to me. I will be very happy to support you, because this is something that I specialize in, and I train companies exactly to build a clear positioning, bring their business to LinkedIn, and make their employees, transform them from employees to brand voices, because there's nothing better than content which is genuinely being spoken or written by your employee who really loves to work for you. And it beats any paid ad, it beats any influencer budget, it beats absolutely everything if somebody from within talks highly about your company. So, what is LinkedIn actually doing in this regard? We are having a shift in LinkedIn, and that shift is from LinkedIn wanting us to be presented as a company on the platform into the shift of LinkedIn wants to present the people behind the companies and behind the brands, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you work in B2B, if you work in B2C or B2G or any other of these combinations. What really matters is that you have the H2H approach or the human to human approach or peer to peer, how LinkedIn is positioning itself. It's the peer to peer approach. And this is why LinkedIn in the recent years has stopped bringing traffic into the company pages and has given all the attention to personal profiles. So, this means that if we have someone with 1,000 followers with a personal profile and a company page with a 1,000 followers, this means that chances that only 1 to 2% of the company followers will see the content versus 30% of the personal profile followers will see the content. You can see the difference. So I also brought here a small example for you. Clay is a SaaS tool for marketers. And as you can see here, they do have approximately 135,000 followers on their company page. That being said, the people behind the company who are being very active on the platform, these 9 people combined have a following of almost 150K. And given the numbers of the attribution of the content and how much traffic a company page versus personal page will get, this makes the whole difference why promoting just your company page is not the best strategy for LinkedIn in 2026. Whereas if you have the luxury of bringing your employees, then of course, please do it. If you are a solo founder, if your team is very small, if you maybe a founder but are working with external people who are not necessarily part of your team, and you don't want to make them public or they don't want to become public on your profile, company profiles, then of course you can also build your strategy around your thought leadership and about your presence as a leader, as a solo founder, as a co-founder, as a person who is actually driving this business. So make your business as human as possible, because at the end of the day, this is the most important part for LinkedIn in general. Now, let's dive into the types of content that we have on the platform. And probably this is no news to you that storytelling continues to be the most popular type of content, because through storytelling, people do get a chance to get to know you better, to get your values, to get your vulnerabilities, to get your journey, to get your successes, to get something that's keeping you up at night. So the storytelling element is the one that is actually bringing people closer to you, building your following, and also building a brand on top of that. If we are speaking about the educational content that we used to call it, now it has become the expert content. It also has to do a lot with the shift of LinkedIn as a platform by itself. So before, everyone was sharing what we were learning, what we have watched, what we have heard, what we have read. Now, LinkedIn wants us all to become experts and deliver expert content. So this is why the expert type content, switching from how to how I approach different things, or how I solve different problems, is the way to do it. Number 3, we do have the social proof, or the part of the business that you can share with, like taking people from just actually taking people behind the scenes and showing them stuff that they have never seen about your business or type of business, because there's also many industries which are quite closed, and people don't know them that well. So this is also a good chance to show how you're working. And lead generation is on the last part. So ideally, the selling content type is the least favorable by LinkedIn users, because everything that we do in itself has already is already perceived as a sale. You can write content without saying that you're selling anything, but because people would trust you, people would recognize you, people would know your personal brand, would know your values, would know you as a person, they would want to engage and they would want to buy something from you. If we actually speak about the post formats, we do have a couple of very trending elements right now. And so let's go through them first. We do have the text and image. We do have the text only. We do have the carousel, which on LinkedIn versus Instagram is in PNG or JPEG format. On LinkedIn, a carousel is in PDF format. We also have the possibility to bring video to the platform, up to 5 minutes. And we do have the polls. So polls are a very nice way to engage with your audience, to ask them questions about what type of content they would like to be receiving from you, or what type of information they would be expecting from you, or if they would be willing. You can put people on a wait list through polls. And like I said, we do have a couple of trending post formats from these 5 possibilities that we do have on LinkedIn. You have to know that currently we have the feed which is on mobile, and you do have the feed which is on the desktop. These 2 different feeds provide different information in the sense of different formats of posts. For the mobile feed, we do have the text-only posts, which are trending like crazy right now. For the desktop version, we still have the text and image posts as a trending element. In general, what works best is a matter of your own strategy, your own resource, and a matter of testing different formats to understand what works best. So even a text-only post can vary from 150 characters all the way to 2,500 characters. Here, there's I brought you a couple of examples of how a LinkedIn post looks like. So here we do have a carousel. Here we do have a text only. This is a poll. This is an image and text format. And this is a LinkedIn Live. If we speak about the writing playbook, or the way we will be writing our post on LinkedIn, ideally, these are the guidelines that I welcome you to take, and I recommend you take into execution. So never do more than just one idea per post. Format your texts as easy to read give your text some breathing space, include listicles, include numbers, write with a very easy language as if you write to a friend, optimized for mobile first. Also use simple sentences, always end with a question and end with a call to engagement. So ask your audience either to like, to comment, to repost. So, and we do have the data that if we ask people in the end of our posts to do any of these actions, chances are that people will do that up to 40%. So imagine you might be losing up to 40% of engagement just because you have not mentioned this to your audience. So these are, again, a couple of personal posts that I have here from my own LinkedIn profile. As you can see, the formatting really makes a big difference. Even though you're not very interested in reading something, but because of the format, it's an eye stopper and an eye catcher. So this is why these are a very good very well performing posts for me, I must say. And not just for me, everyone who is taking time to do the formatting are actually seeing results. And if we actually speak about the KPI or the metrics that we have to monitor in order to see what's working and not working on our posts, we do have the such elements as the discovery. So we have the total amount of impressions that people have seen on the total amount of people who have seen our post. Then we do have the unique number of members reached. So this means that these people could have seen our post maybe once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times, depending. Within the profile activity, we do have the profile viewers of this post, and we do have the followers gained from this post. So also we do have the social engagement, which is the reactions, the comments, the reposts, the saves, which are very important for us these days, and the sends on LinkedIn. So these are also the metrics that you have to be looking at. And as mentioned here, these are the most important metrics to monitor, exactly as in terms of the signal they are sending to the algorithm and to the platform in order to make a decision if this is a good post or not. And also, again, if you do have LinkedIn Premium, you can place a link into your post. You can see exactly how many people have clicked on the link and have taken a further step and a further action. Now we will be speaking about the growth strategies. There's a couple of ways how we can grow on LinkedIn, and you can, so here they are, all 4 of them. You can start with one, you can have a little bit more later on, but of course, ideally, you execute on all of them. So the biggest one, probably you think it's the most important one, the posting, which in 2026 has to come with a cadence of 3 to 5 times a week posting, is not the most important thing, because the way the information and the content is being delivered on LinkedIn is a little bit different from what it used to be. But I will dive into this later. But I can tell you that if you want to grow on LinkedIn, you can focus on commenting, on DMing, and this alone will bring you a lot of engagement and a lot of attention to your profile. And posting might not be as important as you have maybe imagined to yourself. Because these days, comments are bringing more engagement and more eyeballs into your text than a post. But I will explain this a little bit later, why this is happening. So the way we do the commenting It's very strategic. It's very important the way we tackle this approach. So we find 20 new people on a daily basis, of course, to comment on, because we want to go into the audiences and into markets that people have never known us or have seen our names. Also, in order to stay top of mind, we will be commenting to 10 people in our own network. And of course, we will be replying to every single comment under our own posts. In terms of DMing, I usually am DMing 2 to 3 people a day. If I do find lots of different interesting people in my profile as profile viewers, of course, I will message all of them. And the fourth, maybe the most neglected way to grow on LinkedIn are the LinkedIn Lives. And I want to stress the fact that they have to stay on the platform. It's not just something that you advertise on LinkedIn but take away from the platform. It's actually LinkedIn Live done and hosted on the platform. What it does, before you go live, a couple of hours prior and a couple of days prior, LinkedIn is advertising your event to the audience. LinkedIn is actually saying, hey, Alina Kovalchuk is having her live. You can go and watch her, or you can register to watch her live, not to miss it. Also, after you have your live done, it lives forever in your profile. After this, it will forever be available as a piece of content, which you can take, reuse, use however you want it. And after the live event, there's many people who will be viewing your content later. So I did have instances when my live event has been viewed by 20 people, and my my live event video would gain after even more than 1,000 views after 1 week. So it's a very strong element to bring brand awareness towards you and brand recognition so that more people learn about you. Let's dive into what not to do on LinkedIn, because this is also very important. We do not use hashtags, because LinkedIn is a very clever platform. It understands the context rather than keywords and hashtags. We do not mass tag people because we don't want LinkedIn to trigger the spamming filters on us, and we don't want to get shadow banned or flagged somehow. We don't post late at night or when fewer people are on the profile on the platform. We want to be as active as possible during the hours when our potential clients are also awake and on the platform. So this is very specific and very individual from case to case. Please do not post more than just once a day. Do not write text-heavy posts, and do not engage in engagement pods. An engagement pod is, for example, you have a group of people who tell you, hey, let's support each other on LinkedIn because it's very tough and there's not that much engagement. And you do have a group and you send a link, and once someone is sharing a link, everybody else is just like, without even reading your text, sending likes. So what it does in the long term, it hurts your visibility and it hurts your business, because with time, LinkedIn will be showing your content to these people who are engaging the most. And because these people are not interested in your business, you will have a very difficult time in selling your services. So do not join engagement pods. On the other hand, what do you do on LinkedIn? So you start being as active as possible, and you find the people you want to connect with, and you find the people you want to follow. You also build a community of supporters. You always support people who come behind, who are smaller creators, who are smaller businesses. You engage in comments. You are exposing yourself to a newer audience. Everything you do is a social selling. So you do sell and you do speak about your offer. You do send lots of DMs. You offer value through your content. And of course, you are working on your SEO visibility on and off LinkedIn. And now I will tell you a little bit more about how the algorithm and the trends for 2026 work. In terms of the hottest trends, as I already said, the storytelling element is here to stay. It's a hot topic and it's also a very strong instrument for selling. Text-only posts, as I said, for the mobile feed, they are the most performative elements right now. The offering of the value, ideally value upfront, through your content, through your comments, through your even direct messages, everything that you do before you sell, you want to offer people value. Employee generated content, as I said, because LinkedIn does not really want us to be focusing on the company pages anymore. Selfies and Instagram style photos and videos on the platform. Why? Again, because to make the platform of LinkedIn as human as possible. You already remember that I was speaking about the analytics based on the posts that we have, to be actually making use of the analytics to be able to read what this analytics is telling us so that we can adjust the adjust the strategy, sorry. And on the last place, I have put the videos, which are very controversial. Depending on the region, they might be the best working thing for you or the least working thing. But again, in order to try and test, I suggest that we all try videos, especially if you are already present on other platforms and you do have videos already for your maybe Instagram, maybe TikTok, maybe for YouTube. So do not hesitate to also play around with the videos on LinkedIn. And the most important update for the algorithm in 2026, the 360 brew, the update came in autumn 2025. It's not a LinkedIn native algorithm and it's not a LinkedIn native update. This is why we know exactly what it does and how it works and what we should do as people and as users. So I remember exactly the first day when the shift happened on my profile. I took this screenshot of people who engaged under my post. I was very happy to see that in the first reactions that I had on the post, people who were engaging with me were second and third degree connections and not the first degree connections. So how the update actually works. I already told you that we have two most important elements on our profile is the headline and is the about section. They have to tell a story. They have to show you as an expert. Once LinkedIn is actually putting you into a cluster of expertise, you can start writing content. And once this content is aligned with your expertise, LinkedIn is having a signal stating that, oh, this person is writing exactly on the topic that this person is an expert on. This means that this piece of content has to be recommended and shown to a wider audience because this person knows exactly what they are talking about. So how the update actually works, this piece of content is being given to an audience which is mostly interested in the topic that you're talking about. And once a small portion of the audience is seeing this, engaging, showing, giving their signals like saves, like reposts, like comments, the platform understands that this is a worthy piece of content that's worth sharing, and they are promoting it further. So this is in short. And as I said, we did have the shift from the signals like likes and elements like hashtags. Now the profile works in a different way, and we have it in a everything is being read from our profiles and through the signals that our posts are collecting, like saves, like sends on LinkedIn, like reposts, and so on. Before any topic could perform, before the platform has been not as populated as now, anyone could grow because there were fewer creators. Now there's a little bit more creators on the platform. The hook, which is the most important element of the text in our post, wasn't that important because again, there was not that much content on the platform, and any people would consume any type of content really. Now you really have to fight for the attention, and you really have to make sure that everything that you write is interesting for the people in your audience. Before, we could have posted like crazy, even 10 times a day, and the more you posted, the more reach and exposure you would get. Now this is not the case. Now we only post once a day, maximum 5 times a week. That's it. And now we have changed from the connections to a persona-based network where the content is being shown. And now the AI battle of LinkedIn has officially started. LinkedIn is actually tracking AI-like behavior in comments, in DMs, in mass messaging people, in writing the posts, and so on. So these are the most important updates that I wanted to share with you today on the profile of LinkedIn, on the update of 360 Brew, on how you can be present on LinkedIn. So any questions you might have regarding how to build your personal brand on LinkedIn, how to become a thought leader in your niche on LinkedIn, how to create a good positioning, how to define a product, how to come up with a strategy for LinkedIn. If you have a team and you want to train them on brand ambassadorships, please reach out to me and I will happily support you. Make LinkedIn more understandable, more enjoyable, and more digestible, because this is what I do. This is what I love. And I hope through this video I was able to share my love towards LinkedIn, and maybe you will also fall in love with the platform. And I wish you all the best. Thank you for your attention, and I would love if we can connect and follow me. Thank you so much. Bye.